In the US, 80% of waste can be recycled. That's why every night our family went out to collect recyclable material from trash for sale. In the first days, we have to work between 16 to 20 hours per day. I still remember that. After school, we had to collect recycled material from trash from 6, 7 p.m. until 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. We then sorted out of each different type of material so we can sell. I feel so proud that we have success in our doing business in the U.S. All is due to patience, diligence, and above all, determination.
Welcome to Talk Vietnam. Our guest today has been dubbed the King of Trash by the Vietnamese community in the United States. Known for his strong will, he braved the ups and downs of business to rise to the top. His company, California Waste Solutions, is ranked among the 100 top waste management companies and the only Asian American company on the list. As president and CEO, his affection for his homeland led to the acclaimed launch of Vietnam Waste Solutions Company. Ladies and gentlemen, visiting our studio today in Ho Chi Minh City, Mr. David Dương. Hello and welcome.
Hi, Omar.
How are you today?
Good, very good. Thank you very much for inviting me here for the show.
Thank you for coming. So, I know you're a very busy man, and right now you own 7 waste management companies in the U.S.
Yes.
And your family helped you get here, get to this success through collecting trash.
That's correct.
Yes. How did it all begin?
Well, it's actually, it started, by my parents. And who's, when we first came to the U.S., they're the one who taking all the children, which has include me, to downtown and, seeing all the high-rise building and all that. Besides that, we see a lot of trash that's set on the sidewalk, which is get ready for the trash company to pick them up. So from there on, he's come up with the idea that's how we can start the business here in the U.S. by recycle. And so therefore, he actually get all of us started by whoever going to school in the morning can come back and help, at every night that we go out and collecting, recyclable material in trash. And that's how we started back in 1980, early 80, yes.
And after those nights of trash collection with your family, your brothers and sisters, when did you have the idea to build up the waste management company?
Well, from starting with one pickup truck, which is a small truck, we bought it, we bought it at $700. That's our first investment. We grown it, from one truck to about 11 trucks.
Wow.
Then, family start getting, too busy. So we decided that we should start, getting a warehouse. And that is when we start, a company. That's back into 1983. So after 3 years of collecting recycled material from trash, we started a company in 83. And it's called Cogito Paper Corporation.
So can you tell me, were there any stories of hardships during those times of hard work in the beginning? Stories that you'll never forget?
Being personally living in a country like Vietnam is hot with the weather and all that, and then you come to U.S. and every night that you have to work in a cold, really cold weather, and that's you have to always that we memory all those nights. And then even those that some of the night that's we collecting, but we not successfully collect a lot of material. So that's a disappointment that's come to when we can't collect so much of material that we can sell. But then the weather is getting colder, and that's one of the hardship. The second is how we're going to get the family together and working together to build the business, especially the saving money. The money that we collect at those days, hardly we use them. We're just saving them, so we can use them to rent the warehouse later on. So people work really hard and they don't get to share of the money that the sale of the material. That disappoint them, and sometimes that's a family member want to quit, but like I said, that's a hard very hardship. That how we can convince them to continue and to build the family base and to save the money so we can build a business, and that's the result of success of today.
Amazing. And do you remember any other stories, any other memories?
Then when we start the company, then we have a different hardship. That's because when we're collecting material on the street in trash, you don't compete with other people. But when you're starting the company, then we start competing with a local company who are already present there for years. And so when we start buying material, you can't even buy, and we have to start buying material because we cannot go out there collecting material every night ourselves and running the company. So we either running company or we collecting material. So we don't have material to run the facility that we start, and it take a while for us to start thinking that how we going to helping people to collect the material. So we start a funding. We start a fund that where we start training the Vietnamese, the new Vietnamese newcomer who immigrant to U.S., training them that how they can go out and making extra money by collecting recycled material at night and sell it to us. We also giving them loan for low interest, so they can start buying truck and training them collect. So it's helping them, also helping us to grow our business as a company.
What a great solution.
Right.
This street, located in one of the poorest, most dangerous neighborhoods of San Francisco, was where the whole family of David lived during the first days in the U.S. Back then, 16 members of the Dương family had to share the living space in the 2 small apartments here. They would also be regularly robbed of the little money they had saved collecting rubbish by local gangs. Although his life has completely changed, the image of the past never fades.
Đây đó thì là phòng của ba má tôi. Thì ở đây 207. Thì đây là phòng ba má. Thì còn tôi thì ở bên đây, phòng 209. Đúng rồi, đây là chung cư. Nó rất là chật. Nó chỉ có một cái phòng đi vào, có một phòng và một cái nhà bếp vậy thôi. Ba má của tôi là những người mà họ biết là mình không nhẫn nại, không cần cù cũng như không dành dụm những năm đầu thì mình sẽ không có được những năm sung túc hơn về sau. Thì đó là cái mà ông bà đã dạy cho chú tôi, chú thím và cả con cái.
Right in the center of San Francisco, the fountain inside the Ghirardelli, a famous chocolate factory, is a tourist attraction. People who come here believe that if they throw a coin into the fountain, their wish would come true. When he was young, David and his brother often walked past this place, but they were too poor to have a coin to throw in after making a wish. Today, coming here, David and his brother don't make a wish. The visit reminds them of the difficult past and makes them treasure the bonds between family members that leads them to success.
What was the biggest challenge you had to overcome on the first day of your work?
My parents always want me to lead the company, but then we also have family members who did not agree with us at the time. So that's the challenge. At that time, I didn't think that I want to be, because I want to see that family united first, and I take that as more important than making money.
Yeah.
But it come to a choice that we have no choice. That my father one day he said, well, if you get a couple of your family member not join you, but if you can run successful business, you can bring them back anytime, which is true, and I'll be able to bring them back after 5-6 years later. And now we become a big family united again to run the business over there.
That's great. And have you ever encountered moments that made you think about giving up?
No, I'm the type of the guy that's always take challenge and deal with it. So I did not any time at any moment that thinking of giving up. But of course, when I do anything, I always think that you have to commit it to it, and without commitment to it, then you can't success. And of course, any business, anything that you do is not easy to start with. And if you really committed to it, put your hardship into it, and and keep focus on it, you'll be success. So there are many times that that we had to go through. Let's say one of the thing that when we have a company, even we competing with a local company, and we even get people that set it up a fire to burn our whole facility down, our factory down, and that's really hardship because that's at loss.
Yeah.
But we didn't even give up. We think that we can restart it, and we did. I'm the type of the guy that challenged and really patient. So I think that's because that's make us success today.
Yeah. David Dương now owns 7 waste solution facilities, and our reporters had a chance to visit one of those locations. Let's have a look.
Since early in the morning, the truck fleet of California Waste Solutions, or CWS, starts the daily routine, collecting the waste in different neighborhoods. All these trucks are monitored with GPS and equipped with automatic system for higher efficiency. High-tech applications, plus diligence, patience, and a good understanding of the law, according to David, are the key to success.
Một khi mình làm bất cứ một cái gì trên một cái nơi đất nước mới, hay một cái nơi mà mình cư ngụ mới mà không phải là đất nước của mình, không phải là ngôn ngữ của mình, không phải phong tục tập quán của mình, thì mình phải ráng làm sao mình phải nghiên cứu cho thật kỹ và hiểu biết cho thật kỹ về vấn đề luật lệ. Nếu mà mình chịu khó, nhẫn nại, chịu học hỏi và mình phải biết được luật lệ, thì tôi nghĩ là cái success thành công nó sẽ nhiều.
With huge investment poured in modern technology to increase competitiveness, CWS now ranks 31st in the top 100 businesses in the U.S. waste recycling industry. The company's performance has continuously improved, with it now employing 300 people.
I've always enjoyed working with David, even before I worked for David. And I've always appreciated David's innovation and his loyalty, and also his high degree of professionalism. Those are things that I found interesting and attractive to working with CWS. And David has been very consistent in his management and his philosophy, and that type of stability I think has helped CWS and its company and its people grow.
Mặc dù ảnh là rất là giỏi, nhưng mà ảnh rất là thân thiện và ảnh đối xử rất là tốt với mọi người.
Since 1992, CWS has collected and processed recyclable material for 10 cities in the U.S., Recently, CWS invested around $160 million into 2 new waste treatment projects in the cities of Auckland and Stockton. With so much efforts paid by all family members in the past years, CWS has now become a prestigious name in the waste recycling industry, a field that used to be dominated by Italian Americans. The company is also a pride of the Vietnamese community in the U.S.
So tell us a little bit more about your 7 waste management facilities in the U.S. How big are they in terms of size and investment?
Currently, that we have 4 sites that we operate, and then 3 we are building, and those 3 that will be start operating in, expect that in middle of 2015. We originally start in the Bay Area, which is Oakland, San Jose, San Francisco area. So those are our 4 sites currently that operating there. In terms of sites that right now we servicing to around 4, I would say close to 5 million homes.
Wow.
That's what we collecting, processing, and recycle trash for those. And currently that we even expanding outside California. We have a facility where that we build right now in Utah, state. So by the time that those 3 that up running, we expect that we're going to grow to about 7 to 8 million homes. That's what we're going to serve. Wow. That's a lot. American people actually waste a lot. So when you say home, that their waste, compared with what we have in Vietnam, that you probably can, you time probably 30, 40 times of the volume that each home that in Vietnam that throw it out every day.
And how about in terms of investment?
Those sites that we start back into 1983 until now. So the investment for those 3 sites, roughly around 250 million. But the 3 new sites that we take around $360 million to build. One of the biggest sites that we build at the Port of Oakland, because majority of material that we collect that are recyclable material, after process, we're going to re-export it back to the country. That's where they need the material to making product, especially like China, Vietnam, Philippines, and Indonesia, India.
How are you running all 7 facilities? Did you hire American managers?
Our family member only taking care of finance department and human resource. We want to make sure that we take care of our employees. We want to make sure that all financially that taken care by us. Otherwise, the rest of them, the operation is we hire the American people that running it.
With today's state-of-the-art technologies, what kind of products can your factories make from trash?
That's a lot. Let's say that material like recycled material, like paper, plastic, bottle, can, glass, aluminum, and all that. They actually will be recycled by process and in different grade, and they're all going back to manufacture to the same thing. Like let's say if you have a Coca-Cola can that's aluminum, after people use it, throw it away, we collect, we then process, we send it back to manufacture, and we come in the other Coca-Cola can, or maybe a Pepsi can or whatever, but it becoming an aluminum can.
So how did you manage to compete with the other waste management companies?
Well, technology, we always, reinvest. That's number one. Whatever the profit we make, we always reinvest into the business. and we always learn and always invest into new technology. Whatever is out there in the market, we always want to be the first people that's using the new technology, and especially that we have a really good team. That's American team and and family who working really tight, and that's a good team. So we're able to competing not just only technology, but also regarding to pricing of bidding and all that. We're able to do much better and lower of the cost to servicing to the people, and that's giving us the reputation of being working hard, honest, and always do everything right.
And from your own experience, what is the biggest challenge Vietnamese encounter when starting up a business in a foreign country, for example in the US?
I think that you need to, number one is learning the law, and get to understanding carefully. And number two, you make sure that you pick the right business that you go in. Don't listen to people, and don't see that if somebody is doing good business in one business and you think that okay, that's business I want to get in. Usually you'll be failed because you not get into the business that one that you know about, and two, if you have no interest. Usually we fail because you're not putting your mind to it, and you're not focused, and you're not commit to it. And then any new business you always to start with is really hard. Many companies that start with, I would say that probably 60% that new business startup will fail.
Yeah.
So you need to get into business that you actually want to get in and you like to, and that will get you motivated to make sure that you success.
What can you say about the role of Vietnamese American business people in the local communities where you live and work?
Where I live is in San Jose, which is in Northern California, in a city where we have 10% of the Vietnamese American that's living there, which is, it would take around 11% of total population in that city. And the Vietnamese as the newcomer compared with the rest of the other immigrant to the U.S. But because the Vietnamese always known as hard work, and they really want to build a family. So I would say that the local government, they are proud of the Vietnamese American. That's where in the city that we build, we help to build not just only business, but in the society, and we help you in many different areas. That's like education, health, and and many other things that we do. And I am proud of the Vietnamese American in the community where I live. They have done an excellent job of helping community there as part of the of the people that live in one city.
David Dương has become a millionaire from waste solutions business. After his success in the U.S. in 2005, David Dương decided to return and invest in Vietnam as a way to help his home country. Let's have a closer look.
The 127-hectare Da Phước Solid Waste Treatment Complex in Binh Chánh District, Ho Chi Minh City is one of the largest and most modern waste treatment facilities in Vietnam. This $120 million project of the Dương family, equipped with the most advanced technology, can treat 3,000 tons of waste a day and generate jobs for around 10,000 workers while having a minimal impact on the environment. And soon, new technology will allow the complex to generate electricity to power itself and contribute to the national grid.
So your first project in Vietnam is located in Da Phước, Binh Chánh, a district in Ho Chi Minh City, isn't it?
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit about the scale and objectives of the facility?
Originally, we started by the invitation from the local government. When they, have a delegation went to the U.S., looking for investor to come back and to invest in this type of business to help the city to solve the problem of waste. And that's how we met with them. They invited us back, and so we agreed to come back, and we started. We invest with our license that we first invested $90 million, $90 million US dollar.
Wow.
And what we do is we're going to take waste in and we process. We recycle whatever can be recycled, and we compost, because majority of the trash in the city are collected that contain 70 to 80% organic waste.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So composting will be majority of our process, and then we build a state-of-the-art landfill, which is we're using the U.S. EPA standard to build it. And what does that mean, U.S. EPA standard? We build it with many lining underneath of the landfill before you even putting a ton of garbage on top of it. You build a way that where the water, the leachate, which is we call the water that's from the garbage, did not contaminate the groundwater or penetrate down, and you'll be able to collect it and treat it. And also the gas from the garbage, when it decomposes, you get a lot of gas, and we actually be able to collect the gas and convert it to electricity.
Amazing.
Right, and so we have recycling facility where we sort material, where material can be recycled, plastic, bottle, can, paper, and all that. And then what is left we compost, and anything that we cannot do, that we landfill. So we take care of all that from A to Z.
Do you plan to expand your business to other parts of Vietnam?
Right now that we actually doing a next project, which is next to Ho Chi Minh City in Long An province. The project is already designated by central government. We'll be treat all waste from Ho Chi Minh City to the south of Vietnam, and that will be a challenge, but will be a really good project that will take care of waste for the Ho Chi Minh City and the South Vietnam for 100 years.
Fantastic.
And we're using
wow.
The botching, which is the water waste right now. That's it can be used in Vietnam, had not utilized all of the water waste. So that's what our project is building, botching to carry waste from each city or province to the area where we can build and treat it. So that facility, with the investment that we projected about $700 million, talking about US dollar.
So, as an investor, what do you think about the Vietnamese business environment nowadays?
If the government even create law to protect the Vietnamese overseas come home and invest, because we come home and invest already disadvantage for us. We have to travel back and forth, and if we invest and we have to compete with a local company or local person, it's really tough for us. Because even though we're Vietnamese, but we left the country so long, so many years, and so when we come back, a lot of things are changing. The law we didn't even update. We can't even update the relationship, what you call it, the environmental of the business here. It's a lot for us to learn, and the only thing that for the Vietnamese overseas to come home to be success, if there's law protecting them.
Behind David Zung's success is his family. During our trip to America, we had a chance to visit his family in San Jose, California, where we witnessed how David Zung has maintained Vietnamese traditions at his home.
Even after decades living in the U.S., the Lunar New Year is still a very special event for the Vietnamese community. Whenever a Lunar New Year news, the house David and his mother live is where brothers and sisters of the Zung family gather. From the day all of them struggle to earn a living by picking up rubbish in the street to the time they now run a company together, the bond between them remains unchanged. It's all thanks to the family tradition of solidarity that has been passed down from their parents. Incense burned to commemorate his ancestors. This tradition is still kept in David Zung's family, despite it being decades since they settled down in the U.S.
Tất cả các con cháu của gia đình chúng tôi là được hướng dẫn từ ba má của chúng tôi và tới những đứa em của tôi đều là coi như hướng dẫn từ trên xuống dưới, là cái sự duy trì là làm sao mà đoàn kết cả gia đình, thứ nhất. Thứ hai nữa là làm sao luôn luôn có những cái sinh hoạt nó mang tính chất thuần túy văn hóa và dân tộc của Việt Nam. Thí dụ như những ngày lễ Tết, Trung thu Việt Nam, chúng tôi thì tham gia những ngày coi như là gia đình thì luôn luôn sum họp nhau.
It's not only about educating the younger generations about tradition and customs, such as greeting the elderly or giving lucky money on New Year's Day. David Zungs and his siblings also try hard to make the children feel closer to Vietnamese culture. That includes practicing Vietnamese language whenever they are home.
Năm mới con chúc bà ngoại nhiều sức khỏe và phát tài.
Thì mình là người Việt Nam mà mấy cháu đó thì đi học ở trong trường thì tiếng Anh, nhưng mà khi về tới nhà rồi đó thì nói tiếng Việt, để mà giữ cái văn hóa của người Việt Nam mình. Sợ học nếu mà về nhà không xài tiếng Việt thì nửa quên hết.
Phim Việt Nam có cho mấy cháu coi và để nó hiểu thêm về cái tục ngữ của người Việt Nam mình.
Cũng thường xuyên để dẫn mấy cháu về Việt Nam để cho là biết đất nước của mình.
Diligence and innovations are said the key to today's success of Zung family. But in the heart of every family member, they know that the bonds between them are the essential element to help them overcome the challenges they face. And that's the message David, his brothers and sisters are trying to send to their offspring.
So how have you helped your children to maintain the Vietnamese traditions at your own home?
We learned it from my parents. That they always suggest that they always want this, all the kids in the family that if they go to school, they will learn English. They learn everything. They communicate in English, and when they come home, they have to speak Vietnamese. The Vietnamese will be the language used at home, and that's where we'll be able to maintain the Vietnamese culture. Also, every time that they come to the Vietnamese holiday, like the New Year, Tet, and Trung Thu, those are holiday that is actually bringing the kids back to the culture, the Vietnamese culture. So we always involved with those, and we always create a party, create thing at home. We buying Vietnamese product, food and all that. So the kids be able to eat, drink, play.
Have you done anything else that's special in a way to maintain the traditions at home?
Well, I would say that most of everything that we have done while we're young, and my parents, always get there. The important thing is that they have to learn that how to respect the elderly, people in the family, and always listen, and and learn it from the older in the family. I think that's not in the U.S. they do not training you like that, but in the Vietnamese American family, I think not just only us, but every family, Vietnamese American family, always doing that. But us more especially because my parents very strict about getting the student still remember the country, the root where they come, coming from, the culture, tradition, of Vietnamese, and all those.
Yeah.
So, I'm proud that we have a parent that who always, want us to look back and always, training us and teach us a thing that we should remember.
And I know that you've contributed enormously to promoting Vietnamese culture in the United States. Can you tell me a little bit more about your cultural projects?
Outside the family, there's the Vietnamese community. Always have all kind of event like Tet, which is the New Year. They renting the whole parks.
Wow.
And then they create a Tet there, so people go in there. You have all different type of business that people go in there. They can make bánh chưng, and all kind of things that they can sell it there. Most of them are just Vietnamese food, and especially they even giving out lì xì and all those things in the New Year. And we part of those. We make contribution to help to make sure that the organizer be able to get the enough funds so they can doing all those things to keeping the Vietnamese culture and tradition in the community. And also in Trung Thu, we always make contributions so they can be able to import lòng đèn and all those to give it out to kids, and so they remember all the kids will be able to learn this is how even though they live in the U.S. or even though they're born in the U.S., but they'll be able to learn the culture, the tradition of of the Vietnamese back home.
Yeah. And can you share with me a little bit about your future plans here in Vietnam and back in the U.S.?
We keep growing our business, but we want to do more of this growing business in the U.S. We'll be able to involve more of the community event or activity to help take the Vietnamese community in the U.S. Back here. We want to do more of the helping the society and the community beyond just environmental. Like we just helping people, poor people, that giving away of house that we build, giving away. We giving away of library to school, and we giving scholarship to students, which is if they are so poor in the family they can't go to school, we give them those. And especially that I started an investment program where we giving loan out to poor people who will be able to get a loan with no interest loan, so they can start business. And we not only they not only start business, we're also working with the local government or local community or local organization to be able to help those families to start business.
Amazing.
Yes, like we started right now in Long An province. We're giving out loan out to many families. Some families growing vegetable.
Yeah.
Some family growing chicken farm and all those. So the money that loan out is based on the amount we based on what kind of business they're going, and the term of the loan we based on the type of business they're going. So they be able to return back a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Wow. And
I'm so proud and so happy that after 2 years with that investment fund that we created, 95% of people getting loan from it, they are successful. We hope that I can continue running this program for the other year, and I'll fund it more into the program. and hopefully that we able to get the track record of successful this program. So I'll be able to actually calling for more of the funding from the American, Vietnamese American who do business here in Vietnam, also a local company who be able to help, because the helping the poor of the society it's not it's not one person can do it, or one company or one organization. I think that part of everybody, and I think that I'm willing to give my hand now, because I think that if everybody give part of their hand now, then we will to help the whole community and build a better society.
Thank you so much, David, for an absolutely inspiring talk. And it's amazing to learn about your success in the U.S. as well as your wonderful input into generating help here in Vietnam as well. We wish you all the best in all your future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting us here. So thank you and best wishes to you.
Thank you. And that's all for today's edition of Talk Vietnam. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did. Goodbye for now.